And we're back with the engine on WNTH Radio 88.1, the voice of New Trier. Johnny Fogel alongside Nick Freeman and Nick Falk. And last night, a big story developed in the college basketball world. James Wiseman, star prospect from Memphis, decided to leave the college in desire to train for the NBA draft. We're going to be talking about that. So really what happened last night, James Wiseman, who... Nick Freeman, I think you need to...
Explain his suspension.
Explain this, why he was suspended in the first place, why this has developed into such a story.
So the details are a little blurry, but it seemed like during the recruiting process, Penny Hardaway pretty much offered James Wiseman's family. Penny Hardaway, by the way, is the Memphis basketball coach. A house.
Former Magic player.
Yeah, former NBA great. Offered the Weisman family a house near Memphis, near the school, so it would be more convenient if he went there, which is a clear NCAA violation. The NCAA, when they found this out, instead of punishing Penny Hardaway, they punished James Wiseman, giving him an 11-game suspension.
12-game
suspension, and they fined him somewhere around $12,000 with the fine going to charity, which I think is ridiculous, considering you're not allowed to get paid in college, but you're allowed to get fined.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that happened, and then the Memphis basketball team has been doing pretty well without him, but they still are missing that amazing big man. By the way, he was the #1 recruit according to ESPN last year in 24/7 Sports.
Yeah.
And last night, or yesterday during the day, it came out that James Wiseman has decided to leave the Memphis basketball program and instead train for the NBA draft, which has become a more common theme among young basketball players. A lot has happened. Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN reporter, for example, backed him. He is a very big name. It's kind of a shot at the NCAA and another moment where you could just question why the NCAA is making their actions and they're losing a huge name.
According to the NCAA, Penny Hardaway donated $1 million to Memphis, the school, in 2008, which made him a booster, and therefore his payment to James Wiseman's mother was an improper benefit. The school vowed to appeal the NCAA's ruling, and Wiseman's lawyers filed for a temporary injunction that allowed Wiseman to play while the investigation continued. But the NCAA announced a 12-game suspension last month, and the school lost its appeal. It just seems like another situation where I don't understand why, and you look at this so many times, and there was a Baylor running back. I don't know his name. I was told this, and he was so poor. He got a full ride scholarship to go to Baylor, full ride scholarship to play football, but he couldn't afford to live in a dorm or anywhere like that. So somebody gave him some money to get a place. The NCAA found out about it, and he got kicked out of the school, and now he plays football in Germany for like $1,000 a month. It's just terrible to think about. The NCAA has proved so many times that money comes first to them, and it really should be about the kids, not about the money.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, and how do you guys think this affects his draft stock?
He's still top 5, easy. He's still top 5.
In my opinion, I think he's still top 5.
He's gonna be
top 3.
He's top 3. I'd say the 3 best players in this draft right now. You saw the first draft class mock draft come out by
NBA Draft.net,
NBA Draft.net, maybe, whatever. Number 1 was LaMelo Ball. Number 2 was James Wiseman. Number 3 was Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
And
Cole Anthony, by the way, we have not talked about this on this show. He tore his meniscus. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Exactly. That could affect his draft stock, but not that much. NBA executives don't really care about that. I mean, you saw Kyrie played 7 games.
Yeah. As long as it's not a pattern.
Yeah. It wasn't a problem with Zion, even though Zion still hasn't played this year, has he?
No.
Zion's still out. It's just, getting back to the point, the NCAA has just proven so many times that they care about money much more than they care about the players.
Yeah.
And obviously the Supreme Court just ruled that players can profit off of their names.
They had to do that, though. They were forced.
Exactly. They were forced to do that.
Mm-hmm. To James Wiseman, I still think he's definitely a top 5 player in this draft. NBA teams are looking at high school. He was the best player, a dominant big man, amazing rim protector, amazing athlete.
And his size and athleticism, I don't think it's just, you can basically just, they draft all these foreign players and stuff that.
Yeah, I would say the top 4 guys are the 3 you mentioned. Also Anthony Edwards, who's an amazing guard out of Georgia, deserves more respect. But I could see a team that needs a center, because the other 3 top prospects are guards. If a team that needs a center has the first pick, such as, I don't know, the Golden State Warriors.
I was thinking about that, too.
I could definitely see James Wiseman being the first pick.
It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to think about, when they get Steph Curry back, and they get Klay Thompson back, and Draymond back, and Draymond's fine, D'Angelo Russell, and maybe they have James Wiseman. You're looking at a championship contender.
Another big guy who's boosting his stock is Vernon Carey Jr., big man out of Duke, as a freshman. so he could get up there in that conversation.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the point. How does the NCAA think that finding James Wiseman and suspending him for taking money, which is something obviously someone should do, probably, if you're in a situation where you need money, going to help the NCAA? How does that help college basketball?
First of all, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with college basketball to begin with, number one. And number two,
I think it's strictly just about keeping their
money.
Keeping their money and keeping, like,
Dignity?
continuing to make money through the athletes.
This organization makes billions of dollars every year. Like, you can throw out the amount of money that they make out throughout the whole season. Think about how much money they make just off March Madness alone, just everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They make so much money, and it's just greedy. It's unbelievable to think about that. They're not gonna let. How much money was it? Like $12,000 around there. That's how much he was fined. I think he was fined $11,500. But it's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of these players that you see come up like humble beginnings, right? Like what LeBron has these commercials about humble beginnings. We don't want to see humble beginnings. We want to see players that are like safe. We want to see them going to school. We want to see them in safe neighborhoods. Clearly, James Wiseman does not come from a lot of money. It's really unfair and morally corruptible to think that you're taking money away from a lower income family. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. There's something that needs to be said is the NCAA, they're doing all this terrible stuff. There was a football player, I don't remember his name, but his mom had cancer, and I think he was transferring somewhere in Virginia, and they literally declined his transfer portal because the reason that he has a sick mother was not a good enough reason, yet they're allowing these big names to transfer for no reason. They do everything for money, and they're going to need somebody like James Wiseman, who's a huge name and a future NBA superstar possibly, to step up and be the face of the anti-NCAA.
Yeah. James Wiseman leaving is great for all players.
Absolutely. I was just going to ask, what does this mean for the future?
It's making the NCAA scared, and it's making them kind of maybe change some of these rules and at least be semi-fair.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think what this shows is the NCAA is clearly in the minority. Like, think about it this way. They're clearly outnumbered. Like, people are going to stand up and they're going to tell their stories, number one. And number two, the NCAA they can't keep doing this with money. They make they make an unbelievable amount of money. Why can't you just let this go?
It's happened for years, though, which it's going to be really hard to take down. The NCAA is a giant corporation, and it's full of secret and stuff that shouldn't be
Another
allowed.
Thing about this is I'm furious with the NCAA. I don't know what they're doing at all. And that's not going to stop me from watching Michigan Presbyterian this Saturday. I'm going to keep watching college basketball.
Yeah.
And that I feel bad, but it's supporting the NCAA.
It's a monopoly.
That's why
where
you
else
can't.
Are you gonna go?
That's why it's hard to change.
It sucks, but where else are you going to go to watch Michigan play Presbyterian? And I'm going to the Rose Bowl over winter break, and I'm really I'm excited to go to it. But you look at it and you look at the NCAA and you're like, I can't believe I'm giving money to this. It sucks, but it's just it's such it pains me so much because like a sport or an organization, not the organization itself, but college basketball, college sports in general, have brought me and so many millions of people so much joy. To think about this is really upsetting.
It is.
I agree.
It's genuinely upsetting. All right, transitioning to something positive. I'm going to make a formal apology about Giannis Antetokounmpo last night. The Bucks looked tremendous in an 111-104 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Where does this leave us on the Bucks and the Lakers?
The Bucks looked better than the Lakers. I'm not going to say by playoff time they'll be better, but the Lakers looked like a sloppy team.
Yeah.
They were missing a lot of threes, though.
And I think the Lakers were trying in that game. I think it was they just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Because they were sloppy. They didn't. I mean, their coach was furious with them. They just looked like they were sluggish and weren't putting the effort in that they should have.
The Bucks also looks like they've developed a very underrated bench with guys like George Hill, Dante DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo's been starting because Bledsoe's hurt, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you put Dante DiVincenzo into those starting roles where he might not have been ready, but now he's ready. When Eric Bledsoe gets hurt, next man up mentality, and Dante DiVincenzo looks like a great player for the future. This Bucks team is really good. Giannis was 5 for 5 from the three-point line, which is unprecedented for Giannis. I don't know what his free throw percentage was. It probably wasn't great because, he still has to work on. He has so much to work on. Okay, I took it too far yesterday when I said that he's a one-dimensional player. He's not, but he's not as good of a defender as a LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard or an Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
That is all I'm trying to say. I think that those three players are still better than him.
Also, I don't know what his 3-point percentage is this year, but I think it's like 39%.
It's not bad.
It's better than Russell Westbrook.
It's really good.
It's better than Russell Westbrook.
That's around James Harden.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
He's not shooting as much as James Harden.
No one is.
Let's be fair.
No, James Harden's 3-point percentage, is it actually that high?
I think it's lower than that.
Yeah, I think James Harden's 3% is like 33.
He shoots 15 a game, and he puts up 5, and he makes 5.
Wow. Okay. So it's like 33. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, he goes to the line 21.
Giannis has a better 3-point percentage than Harden does. I mean, obviously.
Doesn't matter.
Giannis, it's like, he is a great shooter and all, but he hasn't learned how to catch and shoot really yet.
He's never going to. He's never going to.
I don't think he will ever, but once he gets older, maybe that becomes a problem. I don't think it's a problem this year, but I think this just shows Giannis is such a complete player.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I think he's a great leader, and he works really hard. I think, you said he went 5 for 5 3. He went 5 through 8. And
still.
I remember that he airballed a 3 going down the court.
Guy's confusing.
And then
he's amazing, though.
He got, like, a big rebound, dribbled up the floor, and nailed a 3.
Anyway,
is, like, pretty cool.
Back to college basketball, as we were saying before. Kentucky Wildcats this Wednesday lost to Utah in their first Power 5 game in a while. Actually, they had Georgia Tech. But besides that, first Power 5 game in a while. They play Ohio State tomorrow and Louisville in next week. This team might be really bad.
This Kentucky team,
not really bad, but
every single year you get the
Kentucky.
same thing. Every year, every year, you get a bunch of freshmen and John Calipari, and you think, wow, this is the same thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited to watch the same thing happen in the tournament. They get kind of far and then they lose to a team with experience.
Yeah,
it's not. I could see them losing in the first round this year. It's totally possible.
I could see them being like a 6 seed, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with these Kentucky teams that get slept on a couple years ago when they were the AC, they went to the national championship game and lost to UConn. You can never. That
was an old team though.
The Harrison brothers were freshmen that year. You can never count Kentucky out.
Yeah. Also, another story: the only Power 5 undefeated team is the Auburn Tigers. They have not really beaten a quality opponent, maybe NC State, but still, I mean, they made the Final Four last year. They could be making some noise this year.
Yeah, their coach, he seems
Bruce Pearl.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
Yeah,
he's a good coach though.
Yeah.
One other college basketball piece of news: Michigan State wing Joshua Lankford is officially out for the season. I feel really bad. He's a very talented player.
Yeah.
I'm a Michigan fan, so I don't feel that bad. I feel bad, but I'm not that mad.
Michigan State looks.
From Nick Freeman.
I mean, Michigan State looks really bad this year too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they really needed him to come back, which is unfortunate.
I don't know. That was a good time talking to you guys. Hope you guys had a good time listening. Don't forget to tell your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You listen to The Engine on WNTH Radio 88.1 FM. From Johnny Fogel, Nick Freeman, and Nick Falk, happy holidays, and have a safe break. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, everyone have an awesome holiday. Thank you for listening. Remember, do the YouTube thing, subscribe. That's it from The Engine.
Yeah, we'll be back the week of January 8th.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
Yep, thank you.